Hello everyone and welcome to the first race of the NASCAR Busch Series season here in 2004, and starting off it is the Hershey's Kisses 300 at Daytona. Mark Martin will sit on pole for Roush Racing, and alongside him, the rookie Kyle Busch in that Lowe's number 5 for Hendrick Motorsports. Of course, the 5 was last season's champion. Behind him is Michael Waltrip. Kyle Busch in that Lowe's number 5 for Hendrick Motorsports. Of course, and Kevin Harvick alongside him with Greg Biffle, Matt Kenseth, Martin Truex Jr., and Jason Keller. Kevin Harvick and Stacy Compton rounding out the top 10. Behind them is a field of a lot of drivers. If I can get a proper camera angle, there it is. You got Robbie Gordon in that 55, and alongside him, Casey Kane, J.J. Yaley, and Paul Menard in row 7, with Ron Hornaday Jr. and Ashton Lewis in row 8. Row 9 sits Justin Ashburn, the rookie, in that number 16, and Jason Leffler in the 00, with Casey Atwood and Hermie Sadler, your top 20. In row 11 is Martin Truex Jr., alongside him, Bobby Hamilton Jr. In row 12, Joe Nemechek and Tracy Hines. Row 13, David Green and Mike Wallace. Row 14, Jamie McMurray and Kenny Wallace. Row 15, Johnny Sauter and Stanton Barrett. Row 16, Mike Bliss and Reed Sorensen. Row 17, David Stremme and Justin Labonte. Row 18, Johnny Benson and Steve Grissom. Row 19, Robert Presley in the 47 and the 12 of Tim Fedewa. And then the final 4 here all had to point their way in. And row number 20 is AJ Fike for Curb Agajanian Racing. And alongside him, Jimmy Kitchens. And behind them, Derek Cope, the 1990 Daytona 500 winner. And the 88 of Jeff Fuller. So with just about a minute left before this, let's just go over the rules one last time for how this works. We have one chance at a restart. So if one of these cars fails to make it to the green flag, when they take the green flag, if they're not on track at that time, we will restart the pace lap and let the race go again. Other than that, it is just 42 cars week in and week out trying to make races. We'll see who will be the champion at the end of this season, but it starts with here, race 1 of 34 at the Daytona International Speedway. The Daytona 500 coming up. Mark Martin is one of the drivers that will be fighting in that, as well as Michael Waltrip, the defending Daytona 500 champion. We are just a few seconds away from the green flag here, or the command to fire the engines. So we say thank you guys so much for tuning in, and get ready for 30 laps at Daytona here in the NASCAR Busch Series.
Drivers, start your engines!
Mark Martin and Kyle Busch are going to be the ones rolling it down, and you see 6 of the top 7 are all Cup regulars. Kyle Busch, the odd man out. Now let's hope all 42 cars can roll off, and they will be. Everyone's going to be able to make it onto the high banks here and see if these guys can all drive around and run on this track. But Mark Martin in that number 9 looking for that Daytona win, and no, Matt Kenseth, what is he doing in that 17? Looks like he wanted to say hi to his teammate Greg Biffle back there a little bit. He stays in line, so I don't think there is any issue with that team. And there's Dale Earnhardt Jr. He won this race in 2003 last season, the 81 team. He was on the 8 last season. Now he's on the 81. Of course, this is Chance 2 Motorsports DEI. This is basically Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s own team. He will be starting this race from the 7th position. Let's see if he can win this race today. Michael Waltrip is Dale Jr.'s teammate. He starts 3rd, but for Michael Waltrip Racing, his own team, it's going to be a great one to see here. The little bit of a flyby as they go down the back straightaway, and the cars disappear into the abyss on the middle of your screen. All 42 cars racing down this back straightaway. Next time around, they'll be hitting up to 190 miles an hour heading into turn number 3. 42 drivers, 30 laps, pit cycles unknown right now. Practice was rained out, so they had to do qualifying, and now it is just the race. So a lot of these drivers have not had much time on the Daytona International Speedway this season in 2004, but it is Mark Martin in that Pennzoil number 9 leading us down, coming out of turn number 4. Let's see who will win today at Daytona. Roush Fenway Racing, or Roush Racing, I should say, starts 1st, 5th, and 6th here. Mark Martin, Greg Biffle, and Matt Kenzenthal on that team. No Busch regulars on the field for Roush Racing. We'll see what'll happen here as the pace car will finally lead them down pit road. Coming to the green flag, Mark Martin, Kyle Busch lead us down, and we are racing. The green flag is in the air, and we're green here at Daytona. Kyle Busch is going to get a bit of a jump on that outside line. He has Kevin Harvick pushing him. Harvick's going to try to push that 5 right into the race lead. But coming off the corner, Kevin Harvick going to make it 3 wide on Dale Earnhardt Jr. Down to the bottom goes Harvick. Up to the top. Outside line goes Jason Keller. Keller's going to be hung out to dry. Busch now is going to be right side by side with Mark Martin. And you see 2x2, 3 wide a bit further back. Michael Waltrip going to make a move. Reed Sorensen was up in the back of the track there. And the flyby down the back straightaway. All 42 cars rushing into turn number 3. It is now Kyle Busch in that number 5. He will take the race lead and pull away from the field with Michael Waltrip now in tow. Kyle Busch leads here at Daytona, coming around to lead lap number 1. 2x2 in the back, but you look at that pack of just 3 wide, not very organized, but it's Kyle Busch out in front in that number 5. Second, Michael Waltrip. Third, Greg Biffle. Now 4th is Mark Martin. Into the wall further back, Steve Grissom in the 36, DCT Motorsports number 36. He got the wall, so it looks like he might lose the draft here, but now the top 4 getting single filed. Mark Martin right back into 4th. Kevin Harvick in that 21. He now moves himself up into the 5th position. You see Robbie Gordon in the 55. He is Kevin Harvick's teammate in the Cup Series. He's going to push him right there. Greg Biffle jumps down to the inside. Look at Ron Hornaday Jr. in that too. He's down there trying to help out Robbie Gordon and Kevin Harvick as well. But it's Kyle Busch out in front. Martin Truex Jr. get turned across the field into the wall. Ashton Lewis is in it. Stanton Barrett's in it. Mike Bliss and others. Steve Grissom comes barreling in. Caution is out. Kyle Busch leads us back. And now the big one. Early on, a big incident here at Daytona. Reed Sorensen stuck. Stanton Barrett's car destroyed. David Stremme as well. Johnny Benson for Phoenix Racing. Joe Gibbs is Mike Bliss. Steve Grissom as well. You see Tim Fedewa in that 12. Ashton Lewis in the 46. So that looks like a heavy impact for a couple drivers there. There's Stanton Barrett's 91. He's pulling it down pit road. So that's a heavy hit there. Martin Truex Jr. in that 8. He also has some rear end damage. Reed Sorensen as well. The first start for Chip Ganassi Racing. With that discount tire deal that they have. But a big amount of cars now involved in the first big one of the race, lap 3 of 30. The Busch Series, always aggressive, and now we're going to see what will happen. Kyle Busch leading them through, and you can see where your favorite driver is running at this point in the race. Just 3 laps in, and where they will be lining up most likely for a restart. Do not know, again, if these guys will go down pit road or not. Looks like they are. There's David Stremme, Braun Racing's number 32. The 12, Fitz Bradshaw, number 12 for that racing team. That is Tim Fedewa in that car. Kyle Busch is going to come in. A couple guys staying out, and it looks like the strategy play will be Kyle Busch pulling himself onto pit road. Mark Martin as well. Biffle, Waltrip, Harvick, and a bunch are still going to stay out. So it looks like the field is maybe split in half for pit stops right here. And we'll see who is all coming on down. But it is Kyle Busch leading them down. Martin, Leffler, Kane is also in back there. Harvick, Casey Atwood, and the rest. But it doesn't look like too big of a group coming on down. And now Kyle Busch, it looks like fuel only. So not much there. These guys are just worried that they won't be able to make the fuel last till the end. So that's what's going on here. Tires are not as important here at this repaved Daytona International Speedway. Kyle Busch just barely beats Mark Martin out. Paul Menard also there. But let's go ahead and get you guys a replay of what happened to this caution. As you see, there is now your top 5 all Cup drivers. Let's go ahead and get a replay of what happened to bring out this caution on lap number 3. And please forgive me for saying that the 21 is not Kevin Harvick. It is young rookie Clint Bowyer. So, where was the crash? Just deal with me, guys. So it looks like coming down into turn number 3, there you see Martin Truex. He's going to get shoved up 3 wide. Joe Nemechek in that 87 is going to be the one to dive right under him. And I believe, yes, that will be the contact right here. So Truex, he gets shoved up. He tries to get back down in front of Joe Nemechek, but there just isn't room. The rookie Martin Truex is going to chop off a past Busch champion Joe Nemechek, and Truex goes up into the wall into teammate Paul Menard. Ashton Lewis nowhere to go, and Lewis is going to hit pretty much head on into that wall. Great job. Look at Hermie Sadler and them get through. There's Stanton Barrett's impact in the 91. There's Johnny Benson running into that as well. David Stremme, Mike Bliss. Great job by, look at that, Robert Presley, Jeff Fuller, Jimmy Kitchens, the 49 of Derek Cope. They all make it through. AJ Fike is just going to get hit right there, and you see Steve Grissom just sliding on in. No idea what he was doing, but there's where another big hit comes from. A lot of cars damaged in this. Let's go ahead and get an onboard with a few drivers. Out the back bumper of Casey Atwood, you'll see Martin Truex right there in that 8, and you see Nemechek go down to his inside. It looks like he might have gotten squeezed by Jason Keller as well, but it's going to be a lot of cars, a good amount from the back, getting some hard hits there in turn number 4 here at Daytona. Now we'll go on board with Steve Grissom. You see he was about a second or a second and a half off of the lead pack, and you're just going to see smoke get right up in there. He had a report that there was oil on the track down in turn 3. That's why he couldn't slow down, but you see the field just smashing in. He tries, and he just could not stop and runs right into Mike Bliss. Surprising, this 36 did not get much more damage than just a bit to the front and sides. And that's a lot of cars going through the grass, a lot of cars damaged for the day. Let's go get you guys back to the green flag here at Daytona. And a car blowing up on the apron. Greg Biffle, your race leader, is now blowing up in that charter number 60. He will be running this season full-time for a championship. He is a past Busch Series champion. But this 60 team now blowing up slow on the apron, and that's going to be the end of the day for Roush Racing's number 60. They were looking so promising with Biffle, Kenseth, and Martin all racing this, and now Greg Biffle, his day will be over if he can even make it back to pit road. Right now you see Tim Fedowa, Steve Grissom, Stanton Barrett, Ashton Lewis, Martin Truex Jr., Mike Bliss, and Johnny Benson have all brought their cars down pit road. Biffle's still just going to creep around. Let's hope we can get back to this green flag this time by. We should be able to do that. As you see the lights on the pace car going on and coming around. There he goes. Lights on the pace car will go out. So Michael Waltrip now, he will lead here in this Busch race. Second is Kevin Harvick. Second is Clint Boyer. Not Kevin Harvick. That's going to be a lot this season. But Clint Boyer in this 21, he will be driving this car for the most part during this season here. In this number 21, Kevin Harvick is scheduled to make just a few starts with Reese's due to sponsorship obligations, but Clint Boyer will be driving this for the most part. Matt Kenseth sits third, Robbie Gordon fourth, and there you see Ron Hornaday Jr. So the top 2 Busch regulars are both from RCR. In 6th is J.J. Yaley, 7th, Dale Earnhardt Jr., 8th, David Green, 9th, Justin Ashburn for the Day Enterprises Racing, number 16. What a day he's having so far, only 6 laps in, and he is up inside the top 10 with McMurray in 10th. Hermie Sadler up to 11th. 12th is Bobby Hamilton Jr., 13th Mike Wallace, 14th Johnny Sauter, and 15th Tracy Hines for Tommy Baldwin Racing. 16th Justin Labonte, 17th Robert Presley, 18th Jeff Fuller, 19th is the 43 of AJ Fike, and 20th David Stremme. Then the rest of the drivers are the ones that went down pit road. That is the rest of your field right there. We still only have 34 left in this race. But it's Michael Waltrip going to be leading us back around. The Cup regulars have dominated at Daytona. Tony Stewart is a very strong racer in the Busch Series here, as well as Matt Kenseth, Mark Martin, so you'll be able to see them get up here. But can Michael Waltrip go and win this? Looking for his first sweep at Daytona. He won the 2001 and 2003 Daytona 500 Daytona 500s. If he wins today, he could win tomorrow in the Daytona 500. But coming off of turn number 4, coming around to 7 of 30 laps. That's going to be 24 laps to go. Still a long way to go in this race. Who's going to be able to win it? They're going to come down and take the green flag. Waltrip and Bowyer lead us down, and we are racing. Green flag is back in the air 7 laps through this Hershey's Kisses 300. Michael Waltrip gets off to a great jump. Side by side now, Kenseth is going to duck under Clint Bowyer. Of course, Bowyer, he has not had many starts in the series before this. Now, down to the inside, Matt Kenseth is going to have Robbie Gordon in that 55 pushing him, as well as Ron Hornaday Jr. in that number 2. J.J. Yaley further back now getting some action, but Michael Waltrip in the 99 is going to lead us off of the corner, and all 34 cars are going to thunder back down the back straightaway. Matt Kenseth now has Robbie Gordon pushing him, looking for that race lead, and he's going to get it for Roush Racing. Up to the lead goes Matt Kenseth. J.J. Yaley in that 18, he's a rookie as well, starting to move on up. He started a bit higher up than what people would have thought, but now he's inside the top 10, as well as Dale Earnhardt Jr. You see Jamie McMurray, Bobby Hamilton Jr. further back. Matt Kenseth leads this lap right here. Coming around, now Yaley ducks down to the inside. You see the field. Kyle Busch is back up in this front pack as well. Now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 81 going all the way to the bottom as far as he can. Looks to the inside of J.J. Yaley in that 18. Bobby Hamilton Jr. kind of walking it up the track. Clint Bowyer almost into the wall, but it's Matt Kenseth out in front in that 17. You see about a second pack. Reed Sorensen in the 41 starting to lose the draft of that second pack, but the first one, about 25, 26 cars in this front pack. We still got a lot of drivers racing. And now Robbie Gordon in that number 55. He's going to look for the race lead. Michael Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt Jr. to push him. RCR DEI combo in the Cup Series was pretty dominant at the super speedways, and now it looks like they're driving for, of course, different teams here, but still that brotherly love coming in between them with Waltrip Jr. and Robbie Gordon. Look at this young gun, Justin Labonte, being funded by his father, Terry Labonte. Justin's up here inside the top 15, looking for a top 10 run. A great job today for the Coast Guard 44 Dodge, and he's moving on up. Dale Earnhardt Jr. going to take it 3 wide. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in that 25 looking to go with them as they go. Robbie Gordon shuffled all the way up, 2 by 2 the rest of the way. Robbie Gordon shoved out 3 wide, and now Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 81 looking for the race lead as the crowd roars as they come off of turn number 4. Bobby Hamilton Jr. back there, but again, Justin Ashburn in the 16 is now up into 5th. What a race he's having right now for Dave Racing. And you see further back, there's Kenny Wallace, Derek Cope. They're kind of off of the pack right now. But as they head through the corner, Bobby Hamilton Jr. is going to come back down in front of him. Justin Ashburn in the 16 is having the ride of his life already 10 laps through this race. And he's up trying to get our lead here at Daytona. The pack further back as these guys battle up front behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. Let's take a look at the guys who have fallen off the pace. Reed Sorensen and David Stremme both have lost the draft because of damage. Paul Menard, Jimmy Kitchens as well had a little bit of damage. There you see Joe Nemechek, Stacy Compton, Jason Keller, Derek Cope, and Kenny Wallace. These guys could form up in a line and move on up there. They just need these guys to battle and lose the draft more and more. Up to the helicopter cam, you can see all the cars running as Bobby Hamilton Jr. in that 25 is looking for the race lead on Dale Earnhardt Jr. up front. We're looking at Clint Bowyer and Ron Hornaday there, but now here comes Bobby Hamilton Jr. in that 25 Marines Ford. He's moving up with the push from Justin Ashburn and Mike Wallace, and don't forget Justin Labonte, young Justin Labonte back there. Now Bruco Racing, Johnny Sauter is going to tuck up in that middle line. He gets up there with teammate David Green. Down to the inside goes Tracy Hines for Tommy Baldwin Racing. He's looking for the top 10 as well. Clint Bowyer and Ron Hornaday now tucked in behind the 2 DEI Cup drivers, Michael Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt Jr. They're trying to all work together, push their way back up. A bunch of Cup guys up in this battle still. Justin Ashburn in 3rd. Now Mike Wallace in the 4. What's he going to do? Nothing. He's not going to do anything but push that 16. And Justin Labonte now moving up as well. Tracy Hines real close. Kyle Busch, he came down to pit for fuel. He's now moving his way back up inside this top 15. As this pack forms up, he goes up to the middle line, leaving Kevin Harvick in the 29 down on the inside line. Not Jason Keller. That's Jason Leffler in the 00 with Casey Kane in the 38 behind him. As they go through the corner, Junior is still fighting on that inside line, or on that outside line against the inside line of Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Justin Ashburn. Ashburn, the top 6 have right now stayed the same, but now Mike Wallace is going to move Ashburn out of that inside line. Jr. still going to have Mikey pushing him. Now Mike Wallace trying to hang on the inside, but Jr. is keeping this outside line momentum. He's trying to stay with Mikey. Can't really let it happen without falling back, but Jr. is going to stay right side by side with Bobby Hamilton Jr. as they exit turn 2. Once again, 3 laps in a row, Jr.'s been hanging this outside line, and he's still trying to win this race. 13-30, we're going to be coming up to halfway soon. Now back here, 3x3, Mike Wallace is going to get sent 4 wide almost. Real close here, almost contact, I should say. Michael Waltrip getting real close to the wall up there, and 3x3, they're starting to get racy up front, but Bobby Hamilton Jr. is trying to hold off Dale Earnhardt Jr., and it's working pretty well right now, but Jr. in that 81 is staying right up there on that outside line. Justin Ashburn now jumps in between Jr. and Mikey. Tracy Hines in that 6 is still working. There's Johnny Sauter in the 27. He has Jason Leffler pushing him. Kyle Busch is still in this front pack. Now let's go back a little bit further. Casey Atwood in that 14. He once drove for Evernham in the Cup Series back in 2001. He's now over to Fitz Bradshaw Racing in the Busch Series now in 2004, but still holding a fairly strong ride. He's still up in the top 20, as well as Jamie McMurray, Mark Martin. There's Robbie Gordon, Hermie Sadler. Let's get Jeff Fuller some screen time there. Nimco Racing, owned by Joe Nemechek. They are a very small budget team right now. They tried to field 3 cars in this race. Todd Zegedy in the 7 did not make the show, but right now Jeff Fuller unsponsored in that 88 looking for sponsors. Ron Hornaday Jr. bounces off of the wall up there, and you also see further back Kenny Wallace, Joe Nemechek, Derek Cope, Jason Keller, and kind of Stacy Compton. They've all caught back up with this front pack, so this should be interesting. JJ Yaley getting shuffled almost 4 wide there, and these guys are shaking it up coming off of the corner here. But now the pack is starting to get right back together. Bobby Hamilton Jr. showing some speed here. He got around Dale Jr. Jr. still hanging it on the outside line, but right now Bobby Hamilton is leading this race over Mike Wallace and now rookie Justin Labonte and Johnny Sauter. Jason Leffler in that 00 also down there. Leffler actually tried to make the Daytona 500 this weekend. But it's Bobby Hamilton Jr. out in front over Mike Wallace and Justin Labonte, Kevin Harvick, Johnny Sauter. Your top 5, you know what time it is. It's time for a NASCAR on NBC. Crank it up. And as we had that crank it up, Justin Labonte in the number 44 for Labonte Motorsports has now taken the lead away from Bobby Hamilton Jr. What a run by this young man driving for his father's team. Terry Labonte trying to get Justin into NASCAR, getting him in to a good ride, and right now he could be on his way to winning this race. Now don't forget, a handful of drivers came down pit road and they topped off on fuel. What does that say for the majority of drivers who did not? Will they have to go down on fuel? Will they have to pit? That is a big question. Those guys that did pit will have 5 laps more of fuel on the rest of them that didn't. Jason Leffler in that 00, he's now up into the 4th position. A great run for him, for Haas CNC Racing. And this front pack very tightly packed together. One wrong move, just as Martin Truex Jr. did. This could be a big incident if someone screws up. Casey Kane, the new rookie for Evernham Motorsports, he's moving his way up now into the 4th position as he passes Jason Leffler. The 25, Bobby Hamilton Jr. staying strong on that outside line, but of course the inside line much stronger anywhere else here at Daytona. The draft is just too powerful, but Bobby Hamilton Jr., he is staying right there side by side with Mike Wallace. Kane and JJ Yaley dropping to the inside. Yaley almost going below the yellow line trying to pass Casey Kane. And Kane's going to force Mike Wallace up the track, but Wallace is going to be able to stay right in front of him. Justin Labonte commanding this field pretty well in that number 44. You see 3 wide all throughout this pack. And there you go, the whole field right there. There is David Stremme, Reed Sorensen. They're just making it past the tri-oval. Paul Menard, Jimmy Kitchens as well making it out of turn number 2. And there's Robert Presley, or Stacy Compton, sorry, in the number 59. Casey Atwood in the 14 coming up. Kenny Wallace, he had a drive for Bill Davis Racing last season in the Cup Series with this exact same sponsorship. Now Bill Davis Racing taking on Scott Wimmer and Dave Blaney for the 04 season. Drops Kenny Wallace into the Busch Series. Kenny will be driving full-time this season for Bill Davis in the Busch Series. Junior and Wallace getting real close. A lot of guys shuffling around, and they are getting real close in that sandwich down the middle. And you see further back, they got single file Hermie Sadler, Mark Martin, Matt Kenseth, Johnny Sauter, and Jason Keller. They might know something that we don't, but here comes Kenny Wallace being very aggressive in that 23. Now he's down there. Look at these guys crowding that inside line. Boyer's going to turn Dale Jr. Kevin Harvick in the wall. Robbie Gordon's in it as well. And now Hermie Sadler's going to get turned. Matt Kenseth hard into the outside wall. Back into Dale Earnhardt Jr. And there it goes again. Wreck number 2 here at Daytona. Justin Labonte continuing to lead. Johnny Sauter almost coming back up. Kevin Harvick, his day is now done. Hermie Sadler with damage. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the fan favorite, he is now out of this one. David Green in the 37, Matt Kenseth in the 17. I guess for these guys, Mark Martin, Johnny Sauter, as well as the 22 and the 66, they got single filed out at the right time because most of them were able to make it through. However, Matt Kenseth did not make it through that well. So heavy damage now to the fan favorite Dale Earnhardt Jr., and now we'll see what'll happen in these closing laps. We're going to be under about 5 to go. 5 or 6 to go when we go back racing here. Will anyone come down to take a pit stop? Justin Labonte leading the field, Mike Wallace behind him. We'll see what will happen here at Daytona. Robbie Gordon has some rear end damage in that 59 or 55. Hermie Sadler, again, Dale Jr. with some heavy damage. So this will be the money stop. Do these guys pit? Do these guys not? Do they instead try to save fuel? Justin Labonte in that 44, he led the last 5 laps, and you see they are coming down. Bobby Hamilton Jr. playing that ultimate strategy. He does not want to come in. He's going to stay out. JJ Yaley as well. Kyle Busch also stays out. Michael Waltrip and a good handful of drivers are going to stay out. This is going to be interesting here. Who's going to run out of fuel at the end of this race? And that's going to be Justin Labonte, Mike Wallace coming on in. Ron Hornaday, Mark Martin, they're going to stay out. Hermie Sadler with all his damage stays out as well. So this is going to be a huge strategy moment. And to see what will happen, there's going to be a few damaged cars mixed in here, and especially how well your pit crew can get you in and out on this track. Mike Wallace almost in to the 47. Derek Cope's going to push Mike Wallace around, but Mike Wallace is still going to beat Justin Labonte out of pit road, and Mike Wallace will now be the first one with that new fuel. AJ Fike's going to bring up a lot of spots in that 43. Clint Boyer drops back some. Robert Presley kind of getting accosted by Casey Kane back there. You see the rest of the field kind of getting stacked up. So this is going to be an interesting restart that we're going to see, but it is Bobby Hamilton Jr., JJ Yaley, Kyle Busch, Michael Waltrip, Ron Hornaday Jr., Robbie Gordon, Mark Martin, Hermie Sadler, and David Stremme staying out. The thing is, Hermie Sadler and David Stremme are both damaged race cars. Now, let's hope everyone will be able to get back in line properly, which I think should be able to happen. These guys are probably a little not as stupid as Mike Garvey, but that's besides the point. Please, God, no. Better than Mike Garvey. All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a new replay and see what happened here to bring out the final caution, most likely, of this race and to set up for a wild restart that should be coming up. So surprisingly, Dale Jr., so great at super speedways. He's won a lot of them, learning from his father, Dale Earnhardt Sr. In this 81 car. He has been working the draft. He's been just moving his way up. But now, here it is. He's going to enter the corner. Clint Boyer is down on that yellow line. He goes any further down, he could be penalized. So he can't really move any further down, especially for Junior. But Junior said he's not going to have any of that. And now Boyer, maybe he came up, but he was also getting hit by Kevin Harvick. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to spin him around and coming through the corner. Boyer is going to get through it. Kevin Harvick has nowhere to go. Robbie Gordon just going to get hit into the outside wall. Nowhere for David Green to go. Jamie McMurray as well in that 37. And Kevin Harvick goes sliding around. Jeff Fuller in the 88. He might have gotten up. Yes, he did get a piece of that. But as they come down there, you see Hermie Sadler getting turned by Ron Hornaday Jr. coming back across the track and into Matt Kenseth. Nowhere for Kenseth to go. And Kenseth's going to hit pretty hard into that outside wall as well. So a lot of cars getting spun around, turned around, and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to come back in and give Matt Kenseth a finishing blow right there. So Roush and DEI might have some words after this one for that incident. But we will go ahead and get you guys back to the green flag for a wild restart that should end this race at Daytona. We have the lights on the pace car have gone out. That means we have 6 laps to go here at Daytona. Matt Kenseth and Greg Biffle, they've retired, as well as David Green, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Kevin Harvick leading 30 left, but no drivers a lap down. Everyone is on the lead lap. Bobby Hamilton Jr. for Team Renzi Motorsports looking to win the opening race here for the Marines. And behind him, JJ Yaley and Kyle Busch, 2 rookies trying to prove themselves for some of the best teams in the business. They sit 2nd and 3rd. Michael Waltrip in 4th, Ron Hornaday Jr. 5th. Now these guys right here, Robbie Gordon, Mark Martin, Hermie Sadler, David Stremme, all have damage. And the drivers who did pit, Mike Wallace is up to 10th. Justin Labonte in 11th. In 12th, Casey Atwood. 13th, AJ Fike. 14th is Jason Leffler. 15th, Kenny Wallace. 16th is Clint Boyer. 17th, Robert Presley. 18th, Casey Kane. 19th, Jason Keller. 20th, Joe Nemechek. And is Johnny Sauter, Tracy Hines, Derek Cope, Jimmy Kitchens, and Justin Ashburn, your top 25. And 26th is Stacy Compton, 27th, Jamie McMurray, 28th, Reed Sorensen, 29th, Jeff Fuller, 30th, Paul Menard. We will have 6 laps to go when they go back racing. Will the fuel last? The only 2 drivers not to pit this entire race, Bobby Hamilton Jr. and JJ Yaley. The rest of the drivers who stayed out all pitted under that first caution, and everyone behind those guys pitted on this last caution. Everyone has enough fuel to the end, but does the 25 and 18? That will be the question in these final 5 laps. Will they stack up the field running out of fuel, or will they be able to play the strategy, play the table, and win the Hershey's Kisses 300 at Daytona? Coming around, 6 laps to go. It is Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 25 Ford. He will be leading us around. JJ Yaley behind. Kyle Busch and Michael Waltrip behind him, with Ron Hornaday Jr. 5th, coming back to the green flag. Green flag is going to come in the air, and we're back racing. Kyle Busch looking to the outside already, but Bobby Hamilton Jr., JJ Yaley going to stay nice and tucked together. Michael Waltrip's going to be the first one to duck out of line. David Stremme in that 32, very slow car. He's actually going to drop back on that inside line, try to give them some room. Now, all those drivers, again, are stuck behind. Hermie Sadler and David Stremme, both of them are damaged. Kyle Busch gets shuffled out. He was aggressive on that restart. Now it looks like he's going to lose it. But Bobby Hamilton Jr. in this 25, he is up front. JJ Yaley right on the back bumper of him. Can Yaley win in a debut start at Daytona? Waltrip now going to dive to the inside the field. Look at them getting stacked up, all trying to make it around Hermie Sadler right there. Clint Boyer gets through. Mike Wallace, Jason Keller, and they're going down. 3 cars, 4 cars, 5, 6, all of them coming down. Bobby Hamilton Jr., Michael Waltrip, Hermie Sadler, David Stremme, everyone, and Justin Ashburn goes around. They're spinning across the line. Everyone has to get the fuel. Caution is out, and Kyle Busch is in the lead. Oh my gosh, this could have changed everything. We might be able to go back racing with at least 1 to go, but Kyle Busch is now in the lead. Justin Labonte up to 2nd and Mark Martin 3rd. These guys had to come in. They had to pit. They were running out of fuel. I don't know what they were trying to do. Maybe just trying to cause a crash, but they did. Justin Ashburn in his start, a great day for him. He's going to finish outside of the top 20. Jamie McMurray as well has damage. Reed Sorensen has even more. So this is insanity here at Daytona. All these guys, they were trying to play the fuel, but I guess it's screwed up. Bobby Hamilton Jr. and J.J. Yaley, they tried it. 7 cars came down. Hermie Sadler came late. That might have been the issue that stacked everyone up. Now let's see. Will these guys come down and take a pit road? I hope that they won't come down and pit. But Kyle Busch is out in front. Right now, we have 5 to go. This could be a 2-lap dash to the finish if these guys, if they can hurry up and get this restart back going. I do not believe anyone's going to pit. No, Jason Keller in the 22, he was one of the drivers I think that stayed out as well. He's coming in. Now remember, Kyle Busch and Mark Martin, they both stayed out as well, but they're not ducking down pit road. They might be the ones not scared to run out coming around to the end of this race, especially Mark Martin. Martin's just racing this for fun, not really for points. Kyle Busch is, though. Busch trying to get that championship and give Hendrick 2 for 2. Jason Keller is down pit road. We will see. No, he goes fuel only stop. No repairs to that 22. He's fine. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out yet another caution, the third one of this race. You're going to see everyone, all these guys just come down pit road. Now look at Hermie Sadler back here. He is alone, and he slows everyone up. He came in later than everyone. You see, these guys are all on the bottom, but there is Hermie Sadler right in the middle of the screen, and in the middle of the pack. So he comes down. Now look at the speed difference between the 59-66. They don't know they're coming to pit road until it's too late. Justin Ashburn gets turned. McMurray's into the wall. Jeff Fuller as well. And there you see McMurray and Ashburn go spinning. Reed Sorensen through the grass. Paul Menard pushing Jamie McMurray through. So Hermie Sadler could be part to blame for that, coming in way too late in that 0-2 and destroying the rest of them. But again, these guys just did not see them going in. Let's go on board with Jamie McMurray to see if we could actually see those guys going into pit. So these guys are all behind Stacy Compton in this 59, and he has some damage, but the field's going to go up. You see Hermie Sadler, he was on the outside line, and he's going to try to duck in. He's in the middle, the black car in the middle, and he's going to jump to the inside. Now, they come in. Man, there was no point that McMurray and Stacy Compton and the rest couldn't have slowed down, but again, it's just Daytona. These guys might not have been able to see around them. But the 0-2 for Hermie Sadler is going to be called to the NASCAR hauler for that action for Score Motorsports, and they're going to ask him some questions. We'll see if any punishment will be dealt out. As pace car is going to come around again, we'll see if they will take the 1 to go here at Daytona, and they will not. Lights on the pace car stay on. We'll speed it up one more lap. So coming down, if the lights on the pace car go out this lap, we will have a 1-lap dash to decide the finish. This is what Justin Labonte and that 44 team could be waiting for. But if not, Kyle Busch could win this race as long as the fuel lasts. Coming around to take the lap again, the lights on the pace car go out, and we will have 1 lap to decide the winner of the Hershey Kisses 300. Kyle Busch in the 5 leads them down. Justin Labonte in the 44 is up in second. Mark Martin up to third. Casey Atwood fourth. And AJ Fike in that 43 is fifth. Clint Boyer sixth. Casey Kane seventh. Robert Presley eighth. Mike Wallace ninth. And Joe Nemechek all the way up to 10th after he got involved with Martin Truex earlier on in this race. 11th, Jason Leffler. 12th, Tracy Hines. 13th, Kenny Wallace. 14th, what a run for Davis Motorsports and Jimmy Kitchens today. And Derek Cope as well in that Jay Robinson 49. 16th, Johnny Sauter. 17th, Stacy Compton. 18th, Reed Sorensen. 19th, Paul Menard. And 20th, Jeff Fuller. Then it's Jamie McMurray, Justin Ashburn, Bobby Hamilton Jr., J.J. Yaley, Michael Waltrip, Ron Hornaday Jr., David Stremme, I apologize for that, Robbie Gordon, Hermie Sadler, and the 22 of Jason Keller rounding out the field. Kyle Busch looking for that win Justin Labonte looking for that win. Neither of these drivers have won in the NASCAR Busch Series yet. Oh, wait, no. Justin Labonte... I'm not going to remark on that one. Kyle Busch in the 5 is out in front. Hendrick Motorsports, they are coming off a championship with Brian Vickers in this number 5. Vickers is now driving for Hendrick Motorsports in the Cup Series. Behind him is Justin Labonte. His father, Justin Labonte, the father of... his father is Terry Labonte, still driving for Hendrick Motorsports in that number 5. This could be big for either of these drivers, and this could show you a 2005 rookie driver for Daytona next season for Hendrick Motorsports, coming off of turn number 4. Kyle Busch, Justin Labonte, Mark Martin, Casey Atwood, AJ Fike, your top 5. We will have one lap to decide the winner here at Daytona. Coming around to take the green flag, the white flag with it. We're back racing here at Daytona. Justin Labonte does not get going. Kyle Busch is the one pulling away, and Mark Martin looking to the outside of Labonte. Martin back down to the inside. That gives Kyle Busch a huge amount of momentum, and Justin Labonte caught up on the outside. Busch has about 3 car lengths. Casey Atwood in the 14. He's going to push Mark Martin up here. Can Martin win it? He's going to have a huge amount of momentum in that number 9 coming off of the corner, but Casey Atwood dives to the inside. Clint Boyer as well. Here comes Martin in that 9. He is pushing on him. Casey Kane is going to dive down to the inside. Kyle Busch, he still has a car length. Robert Presley all the way to the bottom. Mark Martin looks... He doesn't get it. Busch throws the block. Coming out of turn number 4. Open it up. The 5 car is going to be on top of the series again. Coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be Kyle Busch over Mark Martin, winning at Daytona. Hendrick Motorsports can celebrate tonight. They are back in victory lane with young Kyle Busch and the Lowe's Chevrolet back in victory lane. Mark Martin tried at the end, but he comes up second. The front row of this race will invert for first and second. Third, Casey Atwood. Fourth, Casey Kane. And in his first career start for Richard Childress Racing, Clint Boyer comes home in the 5th position with Reese's. AJ Fike 6th, Joe Nemechek up to 7th, Robert Presley 8th, Justin Labonte still a valiant effort, led some laps, he's in 9th, and 10th goes to Jason Leffler. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and congratulations to Kyle Busch in that number 5 for winning here at Daytona. Points and money will be out in the Discord later for all the team owners that viewed this race. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Kyle Busch and Hendrick Motorsports, and we will see you guys next time at Rockingham.